In this final sequence, we're focusing on overall strength, toning, and core stability. You'll discover that your physical strength will begin to inspire your inner strength, creating a body in perfect harmony. Let's begin.
Come to sit in a cross-legged seat, SUKASANA. Sit up on a blanket or pillow if your knees are high off the ground or if it feels like your tailbone is being pulled underneath you. Inhale your arms out to the side. Stretch your fingertips wide apart. Tip over to the right, like an airplane making a turn into the runway. Place your fingers lightly on the floor. Notice how your left sit bone lifts off the floor. Ground it down into the mat. Lengthen the bottom waist out of your pelvis so your torso is even on both sides. Look down at your right shoulder and let's feel what tends to happen when we're not looking. Let your shoulder roll forward. This is not a stable position for the shoulder, especially in weight-bearing postures. Now, roll your shoulder back and glue your shoulder blade onto your back ribs. Inhale deeply, and exhale, roll the bottom ribs up towards the ceiling. Notice how your shoulder wants to follow your ribs. Roll it back. Take your gaze up to your top hand and stretch up so much through your top arm, it's as if you're trying to pull yourself back up to sit. Take a full, complete breath. Inhale and slowly come up to sit. Tip over to the left, placing your fingertips on the floor. Ground down into your right sit bone. Lengthen your bottom waist up towards your armpit. Look down at your left shoulder and again, let it roll forward. Sometimes it's easier to feel where we need to go by first feeling where not to go, which is true in life as well. Roll the shoulder back and imagine you could super glue your shoulder blade onto your upper back. Inhale deeply, and exhale, roll your rib cage up towards the ceiling. Your shoulder will want to go along for the ride, so continue to roll it back as you exhale your chest to the ceiling. Look up to your top hand and stretch up so much through your top arm, it's as if you're trying to pull yourself back up to sit. Take a full, complete breath. Inhale and slowly come up to sit. Come to all fours into table pose. We'll be here for a little bit, so if you need to cushion your knees, place a thin layer of blanket under your shins. The hands are shoulder distance apart, fingers spread evenly. Suction your hands into the floor and straighten your elbows. Go ahead and slowly sink into your chest and shoulders. Feel how your body is collapsing into gravity. And while this might feel comfortable, there's no stability in your shoulders to protect your joints. So let's do the opposite. Press your hands down as if through the floor and make your arms longer. Lift up as if you had hydraulics in your shoulders. Maintaining that lift in your shoulders, reach your breastbone forward like a turtle coming out of its shell. Shift your weight into your right hand and lift the left arm out to the side, level with the floor. Gaze at a point on the ground in front of you, but be sure you can see your left thumb in your peripheral vision. So we've upped the ante, creating more work for the bottom shoulder. Observe if you're sinking. Press down into your hand and lift up out of your shoulder. Exhale, release the hand to the floor. Shift your weight into your left hand and lift the right arm out to the side, level with the floor. Gaze at a point on the ground in front of you, and again, be sure your right hand isn't too far above or behind you. Are you sinking into the bottom shoulder? Press strongly down through your bottom hand and lift up. Imagine your bottom arm is a tall Greek column. Relax your face and breathe. Exhale, release the hand to the floor. Okay, so if that felt pretty challenging, you're going to stick with that variation and practice it one more time. It only gets easier if you practice. If that felt manageable, let's take it a step further. Shift your weight into your right hand. Lift the left arm out to the left. Press every cell on your bottom hand down into the floor. Make your right arm longer. Now, turn your left palm to face forward by rotating your upper arm inside your shoulder. Leading with your pinky finger, sweep the arm alongside your ear. Keep grounding down into the bottom hand and lifting up out of gravity. Don't hold your breath when it gets hard. Breathe more. Release the hand to the floor. Second side, shift your weight into the left hand and lift the right arm out to the right. Press your bottom hand into the floor like you're trying to reach for the center of the earth and then lift up through the bottom arm to stabilize the left shoulder. Rotate your right arm open so that your palm faces forward. Leading with your pinky finger, reach the arm alongside your ear. Breathe. When the pose becomes more challenging, notice your reaction. Do you hold your breath, clench your teeth, pray for the end? Soften into the challenge. Release your hand to the floor. Come into child's pose. Separate your knees slightly apart. Look to see that your hands are shoulder distance apart. Press your hands down as you rebound your arms away from the floor. Straighten your elbows completely. Inhale, come back to all fours. Exhale, separate your feet, tuck your toes, and press your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Just like we did in table pose, press down through your hands and lift up out of your shoulders. Stretch from your hands to your hips. Be as long as you possibly can be. Press the fronts of your thighs back any amount without losing even 1 millimeter of the length in your arms and torso. Allow your head to hang like a ripe grape ready to be plucked from the vine. Walk your hands back to your feet. Keep your knees bent and your head heavy. Ground your feet into the floor and place both hands on your hips at the same time. Lift your shoulders up to the ceiling and pull your chest forward to come up with a flat back. Let's practice some sun salutations. Stand in mountain pose at the front of your mat. Inhale, reach your arms up and lengthen the sides of your body from the feet to the fingertips. Exhale, maintain that length as you hinge at your hips and dive over your legs. Bend your knees, inhale and pull your chest forward. Exhale, step your left foot back, followed by your right into downward dog. Inhale, shift forward into plank pose. Remember the work from table. Stabilize your shoulders here by grounding both hands into the floor and lifting up like crazy through your arms. Reach your knees back and down. Slowly bend your elbows and spread wide across your chest. Are all of your knuckles pressing down? Lower your hips and chest to the mat at the same time. Stretch your toes back and lengthen through your legs. Inhale, lift your shoulders, chest, and head off the floor into cobra pose. You can also come into upward dog by pressing your hands into the mat, wrists under elbows, and straightening your arms. Lift your thighs up as you curl your tailbone into the body. Breathe. Exhale, push up to hands and knees or roll over your toes from up dog and press back into down dog. Breathe. Rise high on the balls of your feet, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, the left foot all the way up between your hands. Inhale, the back foot up and stretch your chest long. Exhale, squeeze your thighs up and release your head. Inhale, stretch your arms around and up into upward hand pose. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms up and lengthen the sides of your body. Exhale, maintain that length as you hinge at your hips and dive over your legs. Bend your knees, inhale and pull your chest forward. Exhale, step your right foot back, followed by your left into downward dog. Inhale, shift forward into plank pose, suspend your body. Reach your knees back and down on the floor. Slowly bend your elbows and spread wide across your collarbones. Lower the hips and chest to the mat at the same time. Stretch your toes back and reach through your legs. Inhale, lift your shoulders, chest, and head into cobra pose. Stay here or move your hands slightly back so your wrists are under your elbows and ground your palms into the floor. Pull your spine up into upward dog. Lift up. Exhale, roll over your toes and push back into down dog. Breathe in down dog. Rise high on the balls of your feet, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, the right foot between your hands. Inhale, the back foot up and stretch your chest forward. Exhale, squeeze your thighs up and release your head, standing forward bend. Inhale, stretch your arms around and up into upward hand pose. Exhale, mountain pose. Face the side of your mat. Let's focus on our shoulders. Inhale, reach your arms out to the side. Exhale, cross your right arm over your left and intertwine your forearms into eagle arms, GARUDASANA. If your hands don't touch, move them towards each other to stretch the backs of your shoulders. Hook where you can. Moving with your breath. Inhale, lift your elbows up to the ceiling. Exhale, lower your elbows to your chest. Repeat 2 more times with your breath. Moving the arms in this pose allows the shoulder blades to glide on our backs and increases the range of motion in our shoulders. Now, let's hold eagle arms and come into fierce pose, UTKATASANA. Inhale, lift your elbows away from your chest and pull your hands forward. Exhale, bend your knees and sit deeply back. As you ground into your heels and sink your pelvis down, stretch your elbows away from your chest. You're moving your body in 2 different directions. Inhale, straighten your knees. Exhale, release your arms wide out to the side. Come back into mountain pose. Second side, arms wide, left arm over right. Lift your elbows up and draw the hands forward. Moving your arms with your breath. Inhale, lift your elbows up to the ceiling. Exhale, lower your elbows to your chest. Inhale, arms lift up, hands pull forward. Exhale, elbows towards the chest. Inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, lower them to your chest. Adding fierce pose. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bend your knees and sink your heels into the floor. Sit further back. Keep lifting your elbows away from your chest. Hands draw forward. Relax your face, your jaw, and your tongue. Inhale, straighten your knees. Exhale, stretch the arms wide. Release your arms into mountain pose.